Vous voulez quelqu'un pour chanter, c'est ça? Vous voulez quelqu'un pour chanter? Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Je pense qu'on peut faire en français.
Comme vous préférez.
Les notes sont en anglais?
Mes notes sont en anglais, mais
Comme vous voulez.
le plus à l'aise.
Ok, peut-être je vais faire quand même en anglais parce que mes notes sont en anglais. La prochaine fois, je me préparerai en français.
On n'avait pas prévenu.
Okay. Les invocations, on va faire anglais. Margana Timiramdasya, Gyana Chana Visalakaya, Shaksun Meditam Yena, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Kristaya Bhutale, Srimati Bhaktivedanta, Swamini Namine, Namaste Saraswati Devi, Gauravani Prachalini, Nirvisesa Shunyavadi, Pashchatya Deshatalini, Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, this chapter is all about Lord Ramachandra. And it's many verses without any comments. So most of the talk will be actually about Lord Ramachandra. But before starting reading the verses, I remember there was a class in Bhaktivedanta Manor, and there is a wonderful devotee called Gora Gopal Prabhu. I don't know if you know him. He's very, very famous in India. He wrote books, and when he's giving lectures, thousands of people are coming. And he talked about Lord Ramachandra, saying that especially in South India, it's very easy for people to worship Lord Rama because he's an ideal king. He's setting very high standards of morality. But he said, for many people, it's very difficult to worship Krishna because what is Krishna doing? He's stealing, he has so many wives, and he has so many girlfriends on top of it. And also, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he didn't keep his promise. He said he will not fight, but to defend his very beloved devotees, Arjuna and the Pandavas, he broke his promise. He told Yudhishthira to cheat, to tell a lie, and Yudhishthira couldn't do that. Actually, to vanquish Dronacharya, Krishna told Yudhishthira, you say Ashvatthama died, your son Ashvatthama died, and then Duryodhana will stop fighting. And Yudhishthira says, I cannot do that. So they got an elephant called Ashvatthama. I think they killed him. Bhima killed him, yeah. Bhima is so strong. And then Krishna says to Yudhishthira, you're not going to lie. You're going to say, Ashvatthama, the elephant, died. And so Dronacharya was vanquished. So not only Krishna cheated, but he encouraged Yudhishthira, who with justice and truthfulness personified, to lie. So a lot of people don't understand Krishna. It's easier to worship Lord Rama. He's he follows all the principles of morality. I think maybe I told that story here, I'm not sure. There was a court case in Poland. Actually, the lady who put that problem in front of the court was a Christian nun. And she said, we have actually to forbid this Krishna consciousness movement because it is spreading immorality amongst the population. And the argument was their God, their so-called God Krishna, he had so many wives. Can you imagine? 16,108 wives. How can we let such a religion spread in Poland? So there was a very, very clever devotee. He was defending Krishna consciousness. He said, can I ask, dear judge, can I ask actually that very wonderful nun to recite the vows she took before becoming a nun for the church? And the judge said yes, but the nun didn't want to say. And then he said, actually before asking or before telling myself the vows she took, can I ask her what she has on her left wing, finger, the left
Rings?
finger.
The ring finger.
Yeah. And then she had a left wing, like a marriage wing. And he said, who did she vow before taking a vows to marry for whole of life, to be faithful? And then everybody had to say, Lord Jesus. And then the devotee asked, how many Christian religious nuns are in the world? It was millions, much more than 16,108. So he said, you see, you worship Lord Jesus, and he has so many wives. So why do you blame Lord Krishna? Only 16,000. And the judge had to dismiss the case. So we have two very nice verses. Maybe they are on the screen. So we are going to read, it's 9th canto, chapter 10, verse 52 and 53, because 52 has no purport written by Srila Prabhupada. And we always wait for the purport, because Prabhupada said, my purports, they are my ecstasy. So we want to hear Srila Prabhupada ecstasy. So verse 52.
Which one we repeat with you?
Which one would you like to repeat?
Usually we read together the verse with the purport.
Okay, we will read together 53. I will just read the Sanskrit simply for the first one. It goes, Vanani Nadyo Jiravo Varshani Dvipasindavaha Salve Kama Duga Asan Prajanam Bharatal Sabaha. Then I will skip the synonyms of the verse and go directly to the translation. Oh, Maharaj Parikshit, best of the Bharat dynasty, during the reign of Lord Ramachandra, the forest, the rivers, the hills and mountains, the states, the 7 islands, and the 7 seas were all favorable in supplying the necessity of life for all living beings. So we can see here very, very clearly explained in the verse that when there is a saintly king, very good leadership, material nature, here it says the forest, the river, the mountains, everything, the seas, they give so much opulence to all the living beings. But Actually, it reminds me of a time when Srila Prabhupada was on the planet, and there was a wonderful devotee called Ganeshyam, who became Bhakti Tirtha Swami. He was preaching, distributing books in the university libraries in Eastern Europe. And Eastern Europe at that time was under the jurisdiction of the Soviet Union, communist countries. And he came to Srila Prabhupada and he told how the people were suffering, how they didn't have much to eat and so much difficulties. And Srila Prabhupada, with tears in his eyes, explained that the people are very good there. But because the leadership is actually communist, meaning atheist, they don't believe in God, Mother Nature doesn't supply the basic necessities of life. So that's actually confirmed in that verse. So now the verse we're going to read together. Nadi vyadi jalagrani,
Nadi vyadi jalagrani,
Dukkha shoka vayakramaha,
Dukkha shoka vayakrama,
Mrityushani chatam nasit,
Mrityushani chatam nasit,
Rami rajanya dokshaji,
Rame rajanya dokshaji.
Two more times. Nadi vyadi jalagrani, Dukkha shoka vayakramaha, Nitushani chatam nasit, Rami rajanya dokshaji, Nadi vyadi jalagrani, Dukkha shoka vayakramaha, Mritushani chatam nasit, Rami rajani adokshaji,
Nadi vyadi jalagrani,
Nadi vyadi jalagrani,
Dukkha shoka vayakrama,
Dukkha shoka vayakrama,
Mrityushani chatam nasit,
Mrityushani chatam nasit,
Rame rajani adokshaji,
Rame rajanya dokshaji. Nadi vyadi jalagrani,
Nadi vyadi jalagrani,
Dukkha shoka vayakrama,
Dukkha shoka vayakrama,
Mrityushani chatam nasit,
Mritushani chatam nasit,
Rame rajanya dokshaji.
Rami rajani adokshaji. Can I Vaishnavas? You want?
Nadi vyadi jalagrani, Dukkha shoka vayakrama, Mrityushani chatam nasit, Rame rajanya dokshaji.
Nadi vyadi jalagrani,
Dukkha shoka vayakrama, Mrityushani chatam nasit, Rame rajanya dokshaji.
So right, okay. Synonyms. Na,
Na,
not.
not.
Adi.
Adi,
Oh wait, no. Mo. Adi.
Adi.
Adhyatmika.
Adhyatmika,
Adibhotika.
Adi bhautika,
And Aditaiva Vika,
and Adidaivika,
sufferings.
suffering.
That is, sufferings from the body and mind,
That is, sufferings from the body and mind,
from other living entities,
from other living entities,
and from nature.
and from nature.
Vyadi,
Vyadi,
diseases,
Jara,
old age,
old age,
glani,
Glani,
bereavement,
bereavement,
dukkha, grief,
grief,
shoka,
Shoka,
lamentation,
lamentation,
bhaya,
fear,
klama,
Klama,
and fatigue, mrityu, death,
Cha,
also aniccatam,
Aniccatam,
of those who didn't like it,
of those who didn't like it.
na asit,
Na Asit,
there was not,
Rame,
during the rule of Lord Ramachandra,
during the rule of Lord Ramachandra, Rajani,
because of his being the king,
because of his being the king,
Adokshakshe,
Adokshaje,
the supreme personality of Godhead, who is beyond this material world.
the supreme personality of Godhead, who is beyond this material world.
When Lord Rama, translation by His Divine Grace, Sivatevedanta Swami Prabhupada. When Lord Ramachandra, the supreme personality of Godhead, was the king of the world, all bodily and mental suffering, disease, old age, bereavement, lamentation, distress, fear, and fatigue were completely absent. There was even no death for those who didn't want it. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. All these facilities existed because of Lord Ramachandra's presence as the king of the entire world. A similar situation could be introduced immediately, even in this age called Kali, the worst of all ages. It is said, Kali Kale Namarupe Krishna Avatar. Krishna descends in this Kali Yuga in the form of his holy name, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. If we chant offensively, Rama and Krishna are still present in this age. The kingdom of Rama was immensely popular and beneficial, and the spreading of this Hare Krishna movement can immediately introduce a similar situation, even in this Kali Yuga. This is very revolutionary. So we remember that pastime showing that the child is not supposed to leave the world to die before the father or before the mother. At the time of the saintly king, if I remember correctly, it was maybe King Ugrasena. There was one Brahmana actually lost all his sons. It was 10 sons. And when the last one died, he actually came to the king and he insulted the king. He said, it's your fault, you are not a saintly king. So this is not proper that my sons, they actually died before me. And Ugrasena couldn't say anything, it was correct according to Shastra. So he said that in the court of justice. And then Arjuna came and he took the vow that he was going to rescue all the dead children. And he says, if I don't succeed, I will give up my life. He was a real Kshatriya. So he came to the court of Yamaraj, but the children were not there. And Lord Krishna told him, actually, let's go to see Lord Vishnu. And they went to Lord Vishnu, the children were there. Arjuna could rescue the children. And Lord Vishnu said, I just wanted to see you. Krishna and Arjuna, Naranarayan. That's why I took all the children. So the honor of King Ugrasena was actually saved. So now we are going to talk about Lord Ramachandra, because this whole chapter is about Lord Ramachandra's quality, his pastimes, and I found something very, very interesting. It's actually, again, my dear god brother, Radhanath Swami, who brought that topic, and after it was developed by the devotees in Chopati. It's actually talking about all the lessons we can learn from Ramayana. So it's lots of lessons. We will go quickly through the lessons, but I'm sure we can even find more lessons, because Ramayana is so big. And it's a very, it's a wonderful book, and for human society, to learn how to behave properly in this world. So, as we've said before, Lord Ramachandra was an ideal leader. And why did he appear? Why did he appear in this world? Can you tell me?
To show the example of the perfect king.
Yes, yeah. And what did he do?
Show the example.
Also, by showing the example, what was his
To set
purpose?
the Dharma.
Yes, yeah. There is a verse in Bhagavad Gita that explains actually the objective when a powerful incarnation comes. He came to protect the devotees and to destroy the demon. And he did that. He protected his beloved Sita, and he destroyed Ravana. So we are devotees of Krishna. Why would you say that Prabhupada gives so much importance to Lord Rama? Because he talks a lot about Lord Rama. So why?
Because for us, it's important to first understand Lord Rama, so that we don't, how to say, wrongly understand Lord Krishna.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And because Lord Rama, he showed the true values of life for the human being, to become perfect. And all human beings, actually we are not perfect when we come to this world, and we are looking to some heroes who actually illustrate this value. For example, my grandson, Mohan, he loves to watch movies or series about Superman or so many heroes. But the most superhero, they are actually incarnation of Krishna. And Lord Rama is one of them. People need examples to follow. So, I'm going now to go to the different lesson, and it can be interactive, and you can develop also. I'm not going to ask you, what are the different lessons, but I'm sure you're going to find them when we discuss about them. So one of the most important lessons was given by Kakai. You remember with Kakai?
It's the one who actually exiled.
Yeah. And that's actually, it shows the power of bad association. We have to be very, very careful about association. Although we may be very strong devotees, very staunch, but the power, we shouldn't diminish in our mind the power bad association can have. It can actually make us fall down, or it can make fall down the best devotee, the greatest yogi. That's what happened to Kakai, who actually loved Lord Rama as her own son. But there was that maid, what was her name?
Mandodari. Mandodari.
Ça, c'est la femme de Ravan.
No, that servant.
But it starts with M, but we don't
It's
know.
mom something. She actually convinced by repeating and repeating and repeating it that Bharat should be the king. And by this power of bad association, the whole epic of Ramayana started, Lord Rama was exiled, Mantara. So, of course, that was for the purpose of the Leela. And when Lord Rama came back to Ayodhya after killing Ravana, he showed a lot of affection to Kakai. He actually still considered her as his mother. So, it's another very interesting lesson is that we should be attached to devotional service and not to the position. And that lesson was given by Lord Ram, you said that. Yeah, absolutely. He was going to be crowned the king of the whole planet. But next day he became a mendicant, a beggar, somebody who would just eat roots in the forest and berries and leaves, and just being dressed in the bark of the trees. And before he was living in such an opulent palace. So then, so interesting also it says that the mission of, what is the mission in our own life for us individually? What do we have to strive for?
Serve Krishna.
Yes,
Serve the Lord.
Awakening love of Godhead.
yes, absolutely. And in order to awaken love of Godhead, we have to vanquish our bad propensities, our demoniac tendencies.
Our Ravanas.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what Lord Rama showed when he vanquished Ravana. And you remember the example is often given then that inside our heart we have two dogs, the good one, the bad one. And which dog is going actually to win? The one we feed. So we have to fight the bad. Then there is a very interesting lesson. It's about extreme difficulties, like Mother Sita went through, very extreme reversals. So what do you think about that? How should we, according to Ramayana, and seeing the outcome of that drama, how should we take extreme suffering, extreme reversals?
Grace.
Hmm?
Grace and surrender.
Yes, yeah. We have to take them in the proper spirit. Even if it's very hard, we have to take them with gratitude, because they will help us to fulfill the goal of human life. And there is a nice example given here that the law of gravity is only existing in this material world. But for example, when you see the astronauts, the spacemen, they don't have the law of gravity, just in this world, on this earth. So the laws of material nature, they can only act in this material world, not in the spiritual consciousness. So we should have the proper frame of mind to face difficulties, although it's not easy. But we should still be grateful and faithful in Krishna's, protection. Okay. I'm looking at the time. We probably won't go through the end of all the lessons. Yeah. So also that the fact that Lord Rama, Lakshman, Mother Sita went to the forest, it shows actually the test of every spiritual seeker, every spiritual person. Just for spiritual life, according to time and circumstances, sometimes we have to leave behind all our comforts. And Lord Ram and the associate, they had to leave Ayodhya, the palace, the comfort of the palace, as we discussed before. Yeah, something very nice, it's something we wouldn't think of, but it can be a lesson. Nobody in Ayodhya wanted to see Lord Rama living, and they were all following Lord Rama. And do you know when Lord Rama left them?
During the night.
And what happened during the night?
They slept.
Yeah.
Huh?
They slept.
They slept, absolutely. So we have to be very, very careful. He left, he left when they were asleep. So we have to be very careful in Bhakti Yoga. Of course, we have to sleep. We need to sleep, we know that. But we have to be careful not to be lazy. And we have to try to be attentive. If not, Bhakti may leave us. It's a very interesting point. Yeah. So there was a point also that saintly persons, sometimes they give pains to others, not to hurt them, but to make them understand in spiritual life, or to make them go higher in spiritual life. For example, the beloved mother of Bharat was the brother of Lord Rama. She wanted Bharat to sit on the throne, but Bharat didn't want that. He put the shoes of Lord Rama on the throne, and he lived in a very austere life. So he disobeyed his mother. He caused pain to his mother. Or Prahlad, towards his father, towards Hiranyakashipu. So another lesson is to actually show that the goal of the human form of life is actually to please the Lord. Even if it's difficult, even if we don't want it. Let's take again King Bharat. He wanted to go to the forest to be with Ram and Lakshman and Sita. But in order to please Lord Rama, he stayed and he took care of the kingdom. Yeah, and even that, he took care of the kingdom by keeping the shoes of Lord Rama on the throne. So the lesson is that we have to remember who is the real proprietor, that we are not the owner, we are not the proprietor, we are actually caretaker. And anytime Krishna can give and Krishna can take away. So we are just little instrument for the Lord. We take care of the Lord's propriety. Like here, Srila Prabhu Vasubhakti, they're taking care of the temple for Krishna. They don't think they are the doer or they are the proprietor, but they are instruments in the hands of Srila Prabhupada, of the beloved Gurudev, and of course of Krishna. So, another good lesson is that anybody can make a show of devotional service when everything is going on very, very well. But when can we see the truth of the person? It's for all of us, because it's actually when we have very extreme situation. When we have extreme situation, then the truth is coming out. It's like it is said that when we have extreme situation, it's like we extract the juice. So if you extract the juice of the onion, what comes out? What comes out of the juice of the onion?
Of the onion.
Yeah. Is it something very pleasing?
No, acid.
No, it smells, it makes you cry, it's pungent. You don't want to have such a smell. But when you extract the juice of the mango, well, is it nice?
No.
So it's like us, when we are put in extreme situation, our real truth, our juice is going to come out. It might not be so nice in the beginning, but it will become better and better, because Krishna will bring more and more, reversal until we learn our lessons. If we don't learn the lesson, it will come again. It's just a child doesn't want to eat, so the father and mother, normally they bring the plate again, And in Ramalila, that was show that truth was shown in the case, you remember, Suparnaka. She was actually the sister of Ravana, and she was a demoness. And when she saw Lord Ramachandra, she really wanted to become his companion, his wife. She was very attracted. And then she became very jealous of Mother Sita. She wanted to kill Sita. And Lakshman cut her nose. Then, although she appeared in the beginning as a beautiful lady, then a form revealed as very ugly demoness. So that we have to remember in difficulties to be grateful and patient and tolerant. Another lesson is given by Ravana this time. Even Ravana can give us a lesson. We cannot achieve bhakti by cheating. That's what Ravana did. Because Mother Sita is bhakti personified. And then he wanted to cheat, to kidnap her. But it's not possible. His motivation were not good. Actually, he wanted to kidnap Sita because of greed and lust. And greed and lust, we know, they just lead to envy and pride. So we cannot, by cheating, achieve pure bhakti. Let's see what other lessons we have. Even this lesson is given by Mother Sita for the sake of pastime. We have to be very careful of Maya, material nature, because Maya is actually a devotee. But that she has a very difficult duty. She has to exploit our weakness. So we have to be very, very careful. She's very expert. Even if we hide, all of us we have weaknesses. Even if we hide our weaknesses, Maya, she knows. And she even trapped Mother Sita, who became very attracted by the golden deer. And then the whole saga started. But it was a trap. Then the weakness of our dear Sita Devi was that she was so attracted by the deer that she disobeyed Lakshmani's instruction not to cross the circle of protection. And Jatayu gave also a beautiful lesson. You remember Jatayu? So, which lesson comes from Jatayu?
To give it all. To give it all in order to do the duty.
Yes, exactly. To please the Lord, even if we are going to lose our life, to please the Lord. And actually the lesson, it's for the Lord. If we please the Lord with this intention, it's better to lose than to win. He could have won his life, but he lost his wife trying to defend Mother Sita. And that was the best. So sometimes it's better to lose. You remember that lady called Shabari?
Yeah.
Tell me.
She had so much love for Lord Rama, and every time she didn't want to give the fruits which is not well ripened, and she was just tasting before giving it to the Ram.
Yes, and she's giving a very wonderful lesson of determination and enthusiasm, because her guru went back to Godhead with all the disciples, but he asked that disciple Shabari to wait for Lord Rama. And at the time, it was not to wait for 1 day or 1 month or 1 year. It was actually to wait for such a long time, maybe yuga. But she showed enthusiasm every day. She stayed at the place the Guru said to stay. She cleaned the place. She was picking fruits for the Lord. And she had full faith in the words of Guru. And she waited and waited and waited. And what happened?
Lord Ramachandra came.
Lord Rama came. And as our dear Priyarani said, she wanted to give the best fruits. So she tried the fruits first to make sure they were ripe. And then she gave to Lord Rama. And Lakshman was horrified. But Lord Rama loved that fruit and ate it. I remember a personal lila with Prabhupada. I was cooking for Srila Prabhupada. And he told one devotee, but the devotee didn't tell me. I learned when Prabhupada left the planet. He said, tell Mondakini to try before I get the food, so she makes sure it's enough salt. But the devotee didn't tell me. It's true, I don't put much salt, you know. So let's see what other lessons we have. Okay. So the lesson again is given from Ravana. We have to remember Ravana, his arrogance, his pride, arrogance. He didn't understand who was actually a well-wisher. He was he was actually didn't listening to his brother Vibhishan, who took the side of Rama and was begging Ravana not to pursue, his demonic activities. So he was too arrogant. Ravana thought he knew better. So we have to remember to be humble. Then there is one lesson given by the floating stones to go to Lanka.
Oh.
What lesson can they give us?
Faith. A lesson on faith.
Yeah, but there is something practical. Why do they float?
Because I say Ram. It's written
Yes, very good. Because the holy name is written on the stones, so they float. So even if we are big devotees or beginner devotees, we are trying to swim in the ocean of the material world. And we have to remember the floating stones, that if we are big preachers, even gurus, or just neophyte, we can cross over the terrible ocean of birth and death when we chant the holy name. We will float. Hopefully we will not sink. And even if we sink, if we drown, we should carry on chanting, then we will come up again to the surface.
Shall we write on our body the name?
Yeah.
Also, the tattoo on the face?
I'm not sure.
So
I'm not
sometimes
sure.
we do make tattoo on the forehead.
But this is our
I mean, we should chant to them. There was our dear Kishori, Kishori Devidasi. She's a character. She's unique. Prabhupada loved her. But Prabhupada said in a class, and it's a verse of Chaitanya Charitamrita, that we should write Trinadapi Sunichena. We should write it on our body, we should carry it on our neck. So she told Malati and other god sisters, oh, we should actually tattoo all these shloka on our neck. And it's not like tattoo today, very clean. It was in India. And I think she tattooed herself with a needle. And next, a few days later, there was a lot of infection. And Prabhupada saw ladies with a lot of infection around their necks. And they say, what's happening? And he was explained the situation. He said, oh no, don't do that.
Okay. Good to know.
That was a special time. Maybe it's good now, I don't know.
So no tattoo in India, Diane.
Yeah. So yeah. Again, Ravana is giving the lesson that we find in Bhagavad Gita, that pride or attachment, they will make us lose our intelligence. Ravana lost his intelligence and he lost everything. He sent his son to fight the Lord Lakshman and Ram. Even his son died in Rajit. But he didn't give up, until the end he wanted to. He lost completely his intelligence. So, yeah. Yeah. So we can see that sacrifice, even of family, to surrender to Lord Ram, was shown by Vibhishan, the brother of Lord Ram. So it's many adolescents, but time is coming up. So what I would like to tell you now, I loved it when I read it. It's actually how Valmiki Muni wrote the Ramayana. Now we are just going to finish, it's going to be short. Listening how Valmiki Muni wrote the Ramayana. So, you know who was Valmiki Muni before?
He was a son of her.
And
Ratnakar.
he was?
Ratnakar, the thief.
Yeah. He was actually very demoniac. He was half killing the animals, giving them pain. But then he became Valmiki Muni by the grace of Narada Muni.
Is it regarding the hunter?
Yeah.
So it's the same person.
Is he the same person? I'm not sure.
Ratnakar before, but maybe it might be.
Because I'm confused.
Yeah, I was so wondering if it's the same person as Mugari the hunter. What do you think?
I never heard that.
Yeah, I never heard before, but actually, anyway, it's the same character. Same character, and also saved by Narada Muni. So that story happened a couple of yuga ago. It was in Treta Yuga. And Valmiki Muni, at that time, at the time of our story, he was a highway robber, cruel hunter, the most fallen. But by the mercy of the pure devotee, Narada Muni, he was actually saved. Then one day he sat at the feet of Narada Muni and he asked, who is actually the greatest person living in the world now? Who has the greatest value, the deepest compassion, the best skills a human being can have in this world today? Who is the most humble, the most courageous, who has no false ego, who takes full shelter of the world, who takes shelter actually of God, the absolute truth, Krishna. Please tell me about him. And again, like we were talking in the beginning, he was saying people in the world, they need heroes to follow, and they need heroes to develop their best quality. And Valmiki Muni made a list of all the best qualities one can have in this body. He didn't write the list because at that time, saintly people didn't write. It was just oral tradition. So it says that nowadays, do you know how much capacity in our brain we are using?
20%.
2, 1.5.
Actually, very good people are using 30%, but most people are using 1%.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah. But at that time, Valmiki Muni could use 30%. Then there was no need of writing, you remember everything. Sometimes we see our brahmachari, they're coming up to that stage. They remember everything. So,
Not here.
not yet. Coming soon,
Okay.
coming soon.
D'ailleurs, merci.
So Narada Muni say it's impossible for one man to have all these qualities, but there is somebody, there is a king in Ayodhya who possessed all these qualities and even more. So Narada Muni was very happy with the question. He said to Valmiki Muni, your question is glorious because it will benefit all humanity. And then he gave a brief narration of that person who had all these qualities and beyond. And that person was Lord Ramachandra. And then Narada Muni disappeared. And then Mondakini was with his student was called Bharadwaj. They were near a very pure river. And they discussed and meditated on what they just heard. It was a beautiful day. And there were two birds, some crown-sharp birds. They looked like a crane. And there was a male and a female. And Mondakini Muni and Bharadwaj were watching, and the birds, they were looking so happy. So the sages were happy to see the birds happy. It was perfect. Beautiful landscape, birds singing, remembering Lord Ramachandra's life. But suddenly, a hunter appeared on the scene. He had a bow and an arrow. And he started to shoot in the body of the male bird. So the bird screamed. They were in agony. There was blood all over. And the female bird, she was some kind of wife to the male bird. She screamed, she was lamenting. Of course, sometimes as devotee, we should ask, why should we lament? We are not this body. So why Mondakini Muni and Bharadwaj were also feeling lamentation? And it's a little strange. Actually, it's just the body of a bird after all. But somehow or other, they were feeling a great compassion and lamentation. We sing the song Para Dukkha Dukhi to Lord Nityananda. So Mondakini Muni suffered, and he was very enraged, and he gave a curse to the hunter. Oh, wretched hunter, for the pain, for the death, suffering you have caused to these two birds, may you suffer endlessly. But the way, I'm not going to say it in Sanskrit because, we don't really understand Sanskrit, but it's a beautiful meter. It's very poetic. It's a kind of divine poetry. And then he felt very, very angry, Mondakini Muni. But after some time, he calmed down and he said, oh, I've spoken a verse in a very, very beautiful, poetic way. Each verse had a perfect ending with a rhyme. It was so perfect. And he thought, maybe it will be a perfect way to describe Rama Lila, a mood of compassion for the suffering of other people. Then he got back to his ashram. He started to discuss Rama Lila with the students, and Lord Brahma came. And Lord Brahma explained, actually, all that happened, I have helped it to happen. Because when you were in an angry mood, with compassion, you spoke so beautifully. I have blessed you with the ability to tell like that, to show you that you can tell the entire life of Lord Rama in a poetic meter. Brahma said, don't feel bad. This is a divine arrangement that you became angry and compassionate. The meter, you know the meter, and the poetic way you spoke is how you should describe the entire pastimes of Lord Ramachandra that you have heard from Narada Muni. I will give you the vision of these pastimes. Then Lord Brahma said, you should narrate the legend of Lord Rama, the virtuous, intellectual, and the intrepid one. Is a godlike person in this world as well, as you have heard it from Narada Muni. The adventures of the courageous Ram along with Lakshman and the misadventure of demons, known or unknown in every detail. And whatever has happened, all this will be known to you. And even if it's not known yet, you should versify the heart, pleasing and merit-yielding legend of Lord Rama. And he said, he gave a blessing, as long as the mountains and even rivers flourish on the surface of the earth, so long the legend of Ramayana will flourish in the world. Haribol, Haribol. So this is how Mondakini Muni started to write the Ramayana, because of that episode and that anger, compassion that made him express in a very beautiful, poetic way that situation, that curse. And then he discovered he will be blessed to write the Ramayana. So time is up. Do you want to share anything?
Just one question, because it was very beautiful. I never heard that this is the way one got this inspiration. And is it then he writes Ramayana, and in the beginning, the plot, or let's say the story, is such that Sita Devi separates two birds. Is it like
Separate what?
you know, Sita Devi? She liked a bird, basically. One bird, and another bird was a partner of this bird, and kind of was trying to release the bird, you know. And somehow Sita Devi didn't, and this female bird, she said, okay, just like me, I'm now dying in tears, suffering with my separation. You will also will be separated with your beloved, you know, like So first of all, it's surprising to see that Sita Devi is not releasing a bird. and then second of all, here you are saying that there was a hunter that killed a bird. Maybe he just got this inspiration to give the karmic reason, which of course doesn't exist for the whole plot.
Actually, that particular lila was to bring the anger, and to bring the compassion out. But what she said, there was one story also like that. But we cannot say that in the case of the male and female bird, that's exactly Sitaram, because the male bird was killed.
Yes.
But the mood is there. Thank you.
What was, I have two questions.
Please.
Very quick. Okay. One is like what the deer symbolizes. The deer.
The golden deer.
Oh yeah, it's actually, that's in Ramayana. Ravana wanted to kidnap Sita because he heard from his sister about the beauty, divine beauty of Mother Sita. Then he asked one sage to actually, with mystic power, to disguise himself as a deer, to actually attract Sita outside a circle of protection that was built by Lakshman's brother, by Ram's brother, Lakshman. And actually, the deer came out of the circle, so attractive, so beautiful. We know ourselves, we are ladies. If we see a beautiful animal, we would like to go to him, to paddle him and everything. So Madhusita was like that. She felt great attraction. And she should have listened to Lakshmana. She shouldn't have crossed the protection. But she couldn't resist. Like we saw when we were reading the lessons, she disobeyed Lakshmana. She crossed over the circle, and then she was not protected anymore, just because of the attraction to that beautiful mystical deer. And Ravana could come disguised as a sadhu and kidnapped her.
So we shouldn't be attracted by beauty.
No, we should.
Beauty is okay if you are not separating it from the source of beauty.
Yeah, correct. And it means we shouldn't, even if we are attracted, we shouldn't disobey. We shouldn't disobey what our well-wisher is telling us, our guru or our senior, devotee of the Vaishnava family. Even if we're attracted to something, we want to do something, we want to go somewhere. If some senior devotee or well-wisher guru said, don't do that, it won't be good for you. That's what happened to Madhusita.
So the deer is the things in the world.
It's an object of attraction.
Any object.
It's not good or bad, but what is bad actually is to have disobeyed the order of the well-wisher, of the spiritual master.
And then the second is that you talked so nice about this melody, the meter. I'm curious, what's the meter of, I don't remember, what's the meter of the Ramayana, the verse that came out?
Oh yeah.
So how is the meter?
Oh, you want to listen to it? Let it. Yeah, well, I'm afraid I'm out of battery. Let's see, I'm trying again. No,
It's only blind.
it just came out. It went black.
Maybe you have to say.
I don't know if it's going to come again.
So Krishna is pending your desire, but maybe you can forward it to by
Yes.
email and we will.
Yes, we will do that. Yeah, I don't know why it's not coming again.
That's why you want it.
No, sure about this first.
Let's see if we can.
How do we switch off the? You think it's already okay?
Yeah, it's like oh, Krishna Chaitanya. Oh, it's coming.